under Canada's new restrictions on plastics. That means at the end of next year, will be the end of the road for plastic straws, stir sticks, carry-out bags, cutlery, dishes, and takeout containers, and six-pack rings for cans and bottles. Wilkinson says that many of the items that aren't on that list, such as plastic bottles, will be getting new standards to require them to contain a minimum amount of recycled material. Ontario is reporting 583 new cases of COVID-19 today and one new death due to the virus. Health Minister Christine Elliott says 173 cases are in Toronto, 121 in Ottawa, 75 in York Region, and 70 in Peel Region. The province has a backlog of 55,413 tests and has conducted 43,277 tests since the last daily report. In total, 195 people are hospitalized in Ontario due to COVID-19, including 43 in intensive care. Meantime, Ontario will make a pandemic measure that allowed restaurants and bars to deliver alcohol permanent. The change is part of new legislation to help small businesses which have struggled during the pandemic. Parliament's spending watchdog says relatively little of the government's new sickness benefit will go to people who have tested positive for COVID-19. The parliamentary budget officer estimates that only $50 million out of the estimated $655 million of the new sickness benefit will go to workers who have the novel coronavirus. The office estimates that the vast majority of spending this fiscal year and next will go to people who have to take time off for other illnesses or because they would be at a high risk if they caught COVID-19. The PBO estimates the majority of spending on a new 26-week caregiving benefit will go to parents caring for children. 2 people have been charged for failing to comply with federal quarantine rules after the pair showed up at a rally shortly after returning to Canada. The 2 accused are the first people to be charged criminally in Toronto under the Federal Quarantine Act. Investigators say 37-year-old Christopher Sokocha, otherwise known as Chris Sky, and 34-year-old Jennifer Sokocha of King City landed at Toronto's Pearson International Airport September 20th after traveling abroad. Despite being ordered to quarantine for 14 days, police allege that Christopher was seen downtown and was issued a provincial offense ticket. Authorities also allege both went to a rally attended by roughly 500 unmasked participants on Saturday. Both were served Monday with a notice to appear for a virtual court hearing November 12th. Daniel LaPrade is up next with your local weather right after this.
Last year we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
Good evening and welcome back to your evening news here on this Wednesday, October the 7th. Hope everybody's enjoyed their day today. Temperatures are still up in the double digits, so we're enjoying that. We may see a little bit of a shower tonight, but we'll get into the radar. Not much to talk about. We did have that low pressure system that moved through yesterday. It was over top of us. It is now pushed south. Now we are seeing that over Michigan and moving its way east. We have some cloud cover over us. And as mentioned, like I said, we may see a shower coming through our way overnight tonight as we get into the evening. And as we look at our camera right now, which is brought to you by wirelesscom.ca, check their website out for all their services. We're looking down there at City Hall to the left and the pavilion to the right, and we are seeing it is cloudy out. The sun peaked out a little bit today, but this is the way it's going to be for the evening. We're going to see increasing cloudiness happen tonight as we move into the overnight. But before we get to those details, let's take a look at your temperatures that we had today. So 13 in Thunder Bay, 9 in Wawa, 8 in Timmins, and then 13s across the board in Sault Ste. Marie, Elliott Lake, and Sudbury. So lots of 13s today. Those overnight lows are expected to be 5 in Thunder Bay, 3 in Wawa, -1 in Timmins, 8 here in Sault Ste. Marie. We're a little bit warmer than everybody else, and 2 degrees in Elliott Lake and Sudbury. So as I mentioned tonight, we are going to see the clouds increase near midnight. Then we will see a 30% chance of a passing shower through the night, and those winds are going to slow down just a little bit from 30 kilometers to 20 kilometers, and they're going to gust around 40, and then they will gradually diminish overnight into the morning. And when you'll see on Thursday, we're going to see a high of 13, mainly cloudy. We got a 40% chance of a shower once again in the late morning. Winds are going to become northwest tomorrow, 20 kilometers gusting to 40, and we only see a UV index of 3 or moderate, so it's not too bad for this time of year. Overnight, we'll see 6 degrees and cloudy. Friday, we've got a chance of a thunderstorm going on as well, 40% chance of showers, 15 degrees is your high. Once again, we're staying well above the normals for this time of year, which are around 13, and we're going to see a nice overnight low of 11 degrees on Friday night, which is 7 degrees above our normal. Normals are 4 for this time of year. And look at Saturday. This is good. This is our Thanksgiving weekend. It's perfect for a lot of people who want to still have barbecues outside or gatherings outside. Of course, it's a little bit easier than doing it inside at this time. So 16 degrees, you can do that. 6 is your overnight low, and it's going to be nice and clear on Saturday. We want to thank Northern Lights Detailing for sponsoring our weather. They're at 632 Great Northern Road. Their promotion this month, of course, is you book any detailing service, you can get $10 off your next window tinting that you may need. And, of course, it's a good week to do that. You can get your car detailed any time of the year, but, of course, it's nice when you can get it done and you can drive it around nice and shiny for a few days and enjoy that before it gets dirty again. So maybe take it there this weekend. So Saturday, as mentioned, 16. Sunday, we're looking at sun, 14 degrees before the clouds come back for the week, and you'll see some showers again by middle of the week. But those temperatures are in the middle teens there and looking good. Overnight lows, 6 degrees up to 11, and then back down to 9 degrees rather on Wednesday. So they're fluctuating as well. Days are getting shorter. Your sunset is going to be at 7:06 tonight, as we move closer to the time change on Halloween. So we're going to look at our Weather Watcher photo now, which is sent in by Sherilyn Stubbs. This is wandering the shores of Lake Superior, and she's got a few photos that she sent to me, so I will feature them throughout the week. If you have photos or videos weather related, please send them to ontvweather@gmail.com. Include your name and location. They go up to our website as well, which is siouxonline.com, which is where you can find all the stories that we present to you, as well as the weather on demand. And you can also follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe to YouTube. It's all there for you. So make sure you do go check out siouxonline.com or My Algoma. If you're in Algoma, we always forget about that one. Mike will be back with more news right after the break. I will see you in the morning. Have a great evening.
Algoma Public Health is reporting 2 new cases of COVID-19 here in the Algoma district due to close contact. Both residents are currently self-isolating, and those close to the 2 cases have been notified. This marks the 36th and 37th reported cases within our district. There have been 46,896 tests administered to date across the Algoma district, with 37 residents having tested positive. Of those tested positive, 32 have been in the Sault Ste. Marie area, with the remainder in central and east Algoma. There have been no positive cases reported in North Algoma. 2 new probable cases of COVID-19 and 1 recovery are being reported by the Chippewa County Health Department. The latest numbers bring the total confirmed probable cases to 86, with the number of recovered cases standing at 69. With Thanksgiving just around the corner, and as the province enters the second wave of COVID-19, Algoma Public Health is asking that everyone take precautions to guard against infection. The first such precaution is an obvious one: stay home and away from others if you're sick. Other guidelines include keeping gatherings small, ideally your immediate family, and staying local, meaning avoid non-essential travel. If socializing outside of your household, out-of-town friends, relatives, or returning students, take steps to ensure social distancing. The health unit would also like to remind people about food safety. Wash your hands before preparing food, cook food thoroughly, and follow safe food handling tips. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's minority Liberal government survived a confidence vote on its throne speech with crucial support from the New Democrats. The speech was approved by a vote of 177 to 152 in the House of Commons. There was little suspense about the outcome of that vote, which could have plunged the country into an election had the Liberals lost it. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh had said his party would support the speech after winning some key changes to legislation last week, setting up new benefits for workers left jobless or underemployed by the COVID-19 pandemic. The Conservatives and Bloc Québécois had promised almost immediately after the speech was delivered September 23rd to vote against it. Conservative leader Aaron O'Toole says he'll allow MPs free votes on two bills that are controversial within his party. Last week, the Liberal government reintroduced legislation to ban the practice of forcing someone to undergo therapy aimed at changing their sexual orientation or gender identity. On Monday, the Liberals reintroduced a bill that expands eligibility for medical assistance in dying. Both pieces of legislation have met stiff resistance from socially conservative pockets of the Conservative Party. That faction was crucial to O'Toole's win in the leadership race in August, and he has pledged their points of view will always be respected. O'Toole himself voted against the original legislation allowing medical assistance in dying, but did say last week he's in favor of a ban on conversion therapy. A call about suspicious activity has led to charges for a 45-year-old man. Sault Ste. Marie police arrived in the 0 to 100 block of Meganson Drive to find a 2019 Dodge pickup valued at around $61,000, which had been stripped for parts. Police discovered the truck, which was parked at the home of the accused, was reported stolen. A subsequent search of the area also uncovered a stolen bicycle and a motorcycle. Police then arrested and charged 45-year-old Darren Nochely with possession of stolen property and theft of a motor vehicle. The Canadian Armed Forces is lifting the veil of secrecy over the number of troops with COVID-19 as the military gets ready for fresh calls to help out during the second wave of the pandemic. In its first full update since mid-March, the military revealed Tuesday that a total of 222 Canadian service members have contracted COVID-19 since the pandemic began. That includes 24 active cases. The others have been resolved. A Defense Department spokesman says no military members have died from the illness. This is the first time the public has known the scope of infections in the Canadian Armed Forces since March 20th, when officials said they would stop sharing such details. There were 3 cases at that time. The Liberals and the NDP have blocked an effort by the Conservatives to get the We Charity affair probed ahead of a study into why the Liberals prorogued Parliament. The government must provide a report within 20 sitting days to the Commons Procedures and House Affairs Committee explaining why the August prorogation was necessary. The Tories had sought to get ahead of it by calling witnesses and requesting documents related to the Liberal government's choice to have We Charity run a multi-million-dollar student program. They argued there's a clear link between the parliamentary reset and that issue, but Liberal Committee Chair Ruby Sahota ruled their effort didn't abide by the procedural rules of the committee, partially on the grounds that it prejudges what's in the government's coming report. I'm Mike McDonald. We have more news and weather coming up.
At Fit Bodies, Fit Minds, we want everyone to build a life that they love, and we teach you how to get the results you want in your mind and your body. Introducing our new small group classes to provide you with a happy and healthier life. Our small group classes are limited to 6 people to provide more personal coaching, while having the supportive group environment. Classes are 10 weeks, and each week you will receive fitness and nutritional guidance that are tailored to your needs. Fit Bodies, Fit Minds, we inspire you to move.